the medals for the lads that are here.
Fucking hard there.
It's been a great year for us, lads. It was in the melting pot there for a long time. It looked like we were going nowhere. We had a good start to the year, aside from Neil Carlin's intercession there against Parnell's. Best laid plans and all that.
Pussy's red card.
We had a bit of a blip there, thanks to Ballyboden St Enda's, but I suppose the beauty of that is that we got somewhere this year, lads, and they'll be fighting to catch up with us next year.
Hey!
And to finish it off, lads, I suppose we thought we were going to get decimated with injuries at the business end of the year, and we showed an awful lot of character. First of all, I thought against Sylvester's, after only scoring a point in the first half, and then to come back and to win that game by a point or two, it was. I think it was more difficult to be on the sideline looking on than it was for you lads playing it. But I thought you showed a huge amount of character. It just meant that we could make our ways to the semi-final, out to Hoth, and against Hoth. Then it was just a bit of a. We were the best team all the way through. We just slugged it out, got to the final, and we were the best team again. And the celebrations at the end of it all, lads, were just epic. And we had a photographer there to prove it all. So the first person I'll ask to come up here, and he's the man he's actually working tonight, and he's a guy that's solved the problem position for us for the last couple of years, and a great lad, a young goalkeeper, and a lad that's only going to improve as time goes on, and hopefully next year he'll just be able to maybe turn up for one or two trainings this year. And lads, he's got very good stuff. His grandfather came from the same club that I come from, Neil Costello. You might get where's Lachlan McCabe here? Lachlan, you might come up here, you do the presentation. Dick Young isn't here, so you're last year's Young Player of the Year. Let's see. The next player we have, lads, is a lad that's been playing with the Gers for it must be 15 or so years. He came back this year, lads, after maybe not getting as many games as he would have liked the previous year, but he came back, and just to show how wrong I was last year, he got 1 or 2 votes there for Player of the Year, definitely not Young Player of the Year. He was he decided to go on his travels there when it came to the semi-final. But we sent him a good video there, lads, of pints being thrown around in the back. So George Callery.
Hello, George.
The next cornerback is who I call our own Paolo Maldini. Consistent to beat the band. He's been around as long, if maybe not a year longer, than George Callery. Very seldom does a corner forward get better than him. Never any hassle, never any trouble out of him. Never any drama. Always does the job. Never has any, how would you put it? Once he gets the ball, he always does the right thing with it. That's the very own, the Magic Carpet's very own, John Hines.
Hey, what's up, mate? See ya, cuss.
The next cornerback has been alluded to previously for his exploits against Parnell. Handing them 2 points there very early on. But a man that made cornerback his own there for about 2 years. A man that trains diligently, expects everyone else to train the same way, and if they don't, he's not long in telling them about it. And which is, I think, is a great characteristic. People may laugh about it, but he's put his heart and soul into the club. And if it wasn't for injuries this year, he'd have been competing for his position on the field, and that, of course, is Wexford's very own Neil Carlin.
Hi, Carlin!
Have we any more cornerbacks left? No, we don't. So the next player we have is another player that demanded more game time, and once he got more game time, by Lord Jesus did he fucking take it with both hands. He's been involved with training. If I ever ask him, is he around to take a training session? He'd say, sure, I might be, yeah, I think I am, yeah. And he takes it, and he has his own own stretches that nobody's ever heard of before. I think they're referred to as the McWaylor stretches or something. But had a seriously good year this year from full back. Another man that's got 2 or 3 votes for Player of the Year. And that's, is it Meath or Clondalkin's very own McWaylor?
Hey! On the Royals!
That's a good thing.
The next player, all I can say about him is, and you get it straight away, he's the only player off the club this year that has guaranteed us 2 points. And that was from his off-field activities, by where he goes to every game that's going, and he put in a small little complaint there when we were playing St. Anne's, and it got us the 2 points and turned him over. A man that's been probably longer with the club than any other player and has put his heart and soul into it. And if I was in his position, I probably would have walked away years ago. And it's for days like this, I genuinely mean it, and a man that has put so much into the club and has put in super performances all along the time, and that goes unheard at times, albeit he might have the queerest little Pats Valan solo we've ever seen. That of course is KG Harold. The next player we have is one of our wing backs, and how to start talking about this man is, I think he's been with us 4 years, and this year is the first year he made a position his own, and he got a fair few votes for Young Player of the Year as well, and he has done it in style and with a great attitude. And myself and himself might have had a battle or two at training the odd time, and maybe even before matches the odd time. But it just goes to show that talent always comes through, and I couldn't be happier for this guy to be claiming his medal as a starter this year, as opposed to being a sub other years.
And a finisher.
I think we have plenty more to see off this man, and that's the juror's very own David Lavelle.
Bye-bye, Lavelle! Speedy Gonzalez.
And we go to a different section here now. A man that I had to do a bit of chasing after to get him involved in jurors in the first place. And whenever you see him on the pitch,
I made him work for it.
You know straight away that he's totally invested and fully committed as soon as he gets on the pitch. I think he put the frighteners on a few of our younger lads when he started playing for the jurors first. He used to start belting the chest and belting the forehead, and the lads didn't know whether they were playing football or going wrestling or what was going on. But he's a man that brought us off the west coast of Mayo this year, and anyone that went on that trip will vouch that it was a great time away, and it's something that we'll bring with us for a long time. And he was another man, he was very close to getting Player of the Year this year, and that of course is Mr. Gill, Olaf Gill.
Bye-bye, Gill! Hey! Number one.
I just been informed that I missed out on a few backs there as well. I suppose when we're talking about backs, a lot of the time we talk with lads that have played football over the years, and this fella, if there was ever, it was suggested to me a year or two ago we should have a player, an award for a player, best, how would you put it, the player that's come on the most in the year. And this fella he trains every day, he's as quiet as bejesus, you never get a dig out of him until you get a few pints in him when you win a trophy or two, and he starts throwing pints and glasses around the place. He's a great guy. His rugby background has stood to him in great stead. Great man to possess a forward coming through when he thinks he's about to unleash a score or something like that. And a great guy that trains and plays hard all the time. And that, of course, is Mr. McCabe. And strangely enough, a fella that got voted one vote for Young Player of the Year as well was Killian.
Strange about that.
What's the cut-off for Young?
Young at heart. Young at heart.
So, and the last defender slash midfielder that we're going to present with here today is a guy who can be kind of hard-handed at times, you know. He never really gives you a straight answer. You ask him, are you going to train in January this year? And, you know, I asked him there about 2 hours ago and he kind of goes, sure, ask in January. Or are you going to play for us last January? Ask me in February maybe. But puts in serious performances on the field. He's a natural centre back. We're delighted to have him. We're trying to maybe have him to play with us for the last 7 or 8 years. And put in a super performance in the playoff final where he was on a real footballer and he neutralised them. Great distribution, all around good guy. Hopefully we'll have him for the next 4 or 5 years as well, and that of course is Evan O'Brien.
Oh yeah! Oh Evan, you mad monster!
Oh, you good thing. Yes, sir.
The tough nut.
In Australia now, it's not Australian.
Come on, Darcy.
So, the next fella, I suppose, is he's a bit of an enigma in more ways than one. He sent me a text earlier wondering was there a quiz night tonight or what the story is. He's an ex-championship winning captain of the Jers. Has been injured for large portions of the year. But like when he's been accused by 1 or 2 people of not distributing the ball maybe as frequently as he likes to shoot for scores from impossible situations. But the proof of the pudding was last year against AIB, he got the vital points that brought us to extra time. And this year against Hope, when we were struggling, even though we had the majority of possession, he was still getting the points. Always as honest as the day is long, puts in a great shift, and great admiration for him. I've been playing with him for years and years. Used to hate playing with the Fecker. But like, in fairness, lads, he's always put the Jers above